Hey, this is Jess,
And here is Mel.
and welcome to our second episode of Mel Reads The Cursed Child. For those of you who are tuning in again, hi. Can't believe you're still here, this is amazing. For those of you who have just stumbled upon this, I highly recommend you go back and listen to the first episode. Mel read scenes 1, 2, 3, I believe it was. And this week she has read scenes 4 to 5. I've already read The Cursed Child. I know everything that happens, all that is and all that will be. Mel doesn't know anything. Well, she knows what she's read, but that's about it. So, this week we have scenes 4 and 5. Where do you want to start?
At the very beginning of Act 1, Scene 4.
Excellent.
So, the stage instructions confused me at first. It wasn't until this segment ended that I got what was going on. It says, and now we enter a never world of time change, and this scene is all about magic. The changes are rapid as we leap between worlds. There are no individual scenes, but fragments, shards that show the constant progression of time. Initially, we're inside Hogwarts, in the Great Hall, and everyone's dancing around Albus. Mm-hmm. And I did have to remind myself that they don't literally mean dancing, unless it's a musical and I've missed a memo.
Yeah, no, the stage instructions do kind of get in the way, but it is something that becomes more apparent as you read on, particularly with these things.
Yeah. So I thought the directions were interesting, and it sort of I went okay until obviously this scene ends and they just jump straight into another one. And it's like now they're at a flying lesson. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah. I get it. Okay. So yeah, the first thing I wrote down is Albus comes to Hogwarts as a celebrity, just like his dad. Because everyone's like, Albus Potter, a Potter in our year. He's got his hair. He's got hair just like him. And then, so I was like, oh, I understand why, Harry came as a celebrity because he survived Voldemort. Now Albus is a celebrity because he's Harry's son and Harry defeated Voldemort. Makes sense. And then we get to Rose, who is still annoying me at this point. Mm-hmm. And she steps forward and she's just like, and he's my cousin, by the way. Like, oh, by the way, look at me, I'm attached. Yep. Hi.
It is a bit needy.
It's very needy.
She is kind of similar to Hermione in that way. There was always a little bit of that neediness, but in Rose it's pronounced. It's like...
It's very pronounced.
It is so frustrating.
Yeah, because Hermione never tried to...
She wasn't about using Harry.
No.
But she was just like needy in terms of, look at me, I'm so smart and I'm brilliant.
Yeah, she needed acknowledgement for her brains. And then it says, I love this, the Sorting Hat walks through the students who spring into their houses. And I've just got this image now of a hat with legs walking around the stage. Now, at first this was quite benign. It was a giant hat. I'm like, how's it fit on the kids' heads? Whatever. Giant hat with, like, some suit legs coming out. Like, man's trousers.
At some point... Like, it's like a piggyback, like they sit on your shoulders and just lean forward.
Yeah, but then the image became the Sorting Hat with fishnet stockings and red stilettos sticking out the bottom.
That would be beautiful.
Time to change it.
That'd be a beautiful portrayal of the hat.
Yep, so, I just lost my page. Oh, found it. The book closed. So, yeah, he walks through the students, and it refers to him as the hat as a he. And I'm like, I thought it was a hat, an inanimate object. But no, apparently the hat has a gender. And the gender is male.
I feel like it was definitely implied that way in the movies.
Oh, because it had a male voice.
You'd think that they'd make it slightly more androgynous if it's just a hat. Perhaps the fact that it was owned by Godric Gryffindor, who was apparently just... I have to admit, he's always portrayed as a bit of a macho, manly man. So I feel like it's potential that he was so masculine in apparently everyone's heads that his hat also had testicles or something.
He had quite a deep voice. The hat's voice had definitely broken.
Gross. Don't put your hand inside the hat is all I'm gonna say.
Oh. Okay. So they've got a Sorting Hat song, a very short one. We only hear 2 verses. And I actually didn't mind it, except for it says, I've sorted high, I've sorted low. What's that mean? what I'm very confused. I've done the job through thick and thin. Like, I get that. I get that, but I've sorted high, I've sorted low. Jess, explain this to me.
No.
Sorted high. I'm going to sit here now until we figure this out. I've sorted high, I've sorted... Do they mean short and tall? I doubt they mean short and tall students. I don't know.
Who knows, potentially. I mean, I think that's open to interpretation.
I think it's just bad writing.
Well, this... I must be impartial.
Which house you should be in, Rose Granger Weasley. He puts his hat... So now it's a person. He puts his hat on Rose's head. So now, is it a guy just walking around with a hat on his head and he puts it on people's head? Isn't that McGonagall's job?
I don't know. Let's swiftly move on, though.
So she's a Gryffindor, so I was wrong. I did guess she would be a Ravenclaw, but she's a Gryffindor. That's alright.
That's okay.
And she uses the phrase, thank Dumbledore. So that's a thing now. Thank Dumbledore. Like Merlin's beer, that's another one. But thank Dumbledore. It's like, thank Dumbledore. Thank Dumbledore. Thank Dumbledore.
Hashtag welcome to the modern wizarding world.
Yep. Scorpius is Slytherin, which I was going between that and Gryffindor for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that as a victory.
Okay.
And I take Albus as a victory that he's a Slytherin. I was right.
He is a Slytherin.
Foreshadowing. But there is one quip I have an annoyance here.
Okay.
I really would have liked us to hear the dialogue between him and the Sorting Hat that brought him here.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know how it happens. It says that he put his hat on Albus's head, and this time he seems to take longer, almost like he too is confused. Slytherin.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what was said? Or maybe nothing was said.
I want to know. Something had to be said. Somewhere.
How do you know that? You weren't there.
There was dialogue between him and the hat.
How do you know?
Because the hat talks to people.
Yes, it does. Or maybe they had a long, awkward pause.
Okay, fine, whatever. I think there should have been dialogue.
Okay.
So... Oh, by the way, actually, I've just seen it in my notes and I've skimmed over it.
Uh-huh.
The Scorpius, the Sorting Hat apparently glares. Scorpius runs to take Rose's place under the Sorting Hat's glare. This hat is, like, so much weirder than what it was in the book, and I don't like it. Stop it.
So, alright, so the Cursed Child has a hat with too much opinions, and Mel is done.
Mel is... I am over the hat.
Okay.
The only thing I want to hear about from the hat is its dialogue with the students as it sorts them. Is that too much to ask?
There could have been an awkward pause. You don't know.
I don't care. I would like the awkward pause then to be explained to me.
You can go email Jack Thorne then.
I will.
Okay.
Don't think I will.
I believe you.
Okay, so then everyone is like, oh my god, Slytherin, what the hell? Albus is unsure about this, but Scorpius is really happy and shouts over, you can stand next to me, which confuses me because they're meant to be sitting, because this is the Great Hall and they're sitting down for their feast. Mm-hmm. Anyways,
Are you maybe taking it a little too much into consideration? That maybe you're not taking it into consideration, I mean, that this is a play. So you have to keep in mind that it's not going to take place the way that the stories do, because on a stage they can't necessarily create
They could at
that.
least have a chair. You can have a chair.
They could have a
you
bench.
Move a chair very
they
quickly.
They could have a bench, but that's not the point. You do have to give them a little bit of creative leeway, because this is a play.
Rumble roar.
Don't get too distracted from the story. That's all I'm gonna say.
There were seats in a Harry Potter musical.
Yes, there were.
Just saying.
But there was also people moving them around because it was low budget-ish.
This is high budget. They can move chairs.
No, they can't.
Okay, anyway, so Albus, thoroughly discombobulated, goes over to Scorpius. And then the other students are like, I suppose he doesn't look that much like Harry. And Rose is freaking out because this is not how it's supposed to be. That's a direct quote.
Okay.
And I love the stage direction. And suddenly, a flying lesson is happening with Madame Hooch. So Madame Hooch is still around. That's cool. That's cool. So yeah, that really confused me. I had to go
Madame
back.
Hooch is the cursed child.
No, that would be silly. So
Anyway.
this is when I got temporarily confused. I'm just like, wait, what? And so I quickly flicked back and, married it all up that this is like a rapid changing thing. So, everyone says up as they do, and Rose and a character Yan, I think Yan's a last name? Let me go back. I'm pretty sure I've met this person, but that's just their last name. No, that's their first name, Yan Fredericks. So they say up and they get their broom. Mm-hmm. So everyone keeps trying, and even apparently everyone, including Scorpius, get their brooms up, but Albus doesn't. And, he's obviously not like Harry, does not have that natural flying talent. He missed those genetics.
And that's a pity, because that was both sides. That was Mum and Dad.
Yeah, but while Rose gets it, she has only the Weasley genes because Hermione never showed any interest in brooms. I think she was scared of flying. Yes, Hermione was scared of flying. So, yeah. And then everyone teases him again. It's really mean. Kids are mean.
That is true.
I swear they are more mean in this than they were in Harry Potter. Well, so far.
Well, I mean, coming back to that, though, Harry was also just naturally talented and the golden child. And he really fit the mold, didn't he? So.
Yep. And then they call him Albus Potter, the Slytherin squib. And, yeah.
How do you feel about
that? That's mean. That is very mean. He's not a squib. He's Albus Potter, and he just doesn't want to fly. Just leave him alone. Maybe he does want to fly. I don't actually know, but he's not good at it. That's going to be for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it says, and suddenly, I love this stage which just says, and suddenly, every time Harry appears. And I was like, oh, what's Harry doing there? And then we realise, well, it tells me that a year has passed. So that was Albus's first year. Mm-hmm. So obviously this does not happen. This story does not happen in his first year. We're moving quite quickly. And so Albus is too cool for school, and his dad, well, not school, but his dad definitely.
Yeah.
He doesn't want Harry standing near him, and because he doesn't want people staring, and Harry's like, it's fine. It doesn't matter that they're looking at me, just ignore them. And Albus is like, they're staring at Harry Potter and his disappointing son. And Harry's like, what? You're not a disappointment. And James is a bit of a bully, taking after his namesake.
Frowns.
So, yep. I think he needs a bit more discipline, because all he gets is, for his teasing, is a line from Harry saying, unnecessary James. So, yep. Albus doesn't like being called Al. And Harry is like, maybe you should just make more friends and then people won't be so mean to you.
Great advice. Great advice, Dad.
Yep. And he's like, if I didn't have Hermione and Ron, I wouldn't have survived Hogwarts. And Albus like, I don't need a Ron and Hermione. I've got my friend Scorpius. And I know you don't like him. And I was surprised by that. I was like, Harry surely wouldn't be prejudiced, like not in front of his son. Like surely he would swallow that down and, And Harry says to him, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters to me. So then I'm like, does Harry think there's something going on between him and Scorpius? Is that what it is? Like I am not mad. I'm just slightly disappointed. I didn't know you were that way and I wish you'd come out to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. I'm just being silly now, aren't I?
No, I want you to read this and interpret it however you feel.
Well, my note says, maybe he thinks they're gay, ? But no, Albus is having a bit of emo time. By the looks of it, he's feeling the bullying, because that's what I'm guessing is causing it, this bullying, and he feels overshadowed by Harry. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing James, by the sounds of it, is just lapping it up, going, yeah, I am James Sirius Potter. Do you want to know who I'm named after? Let me tell you the story.
Oh, he would.
He is James and Sirius in
Someone
one
kick
person.
him.
But yep. And Albus is like, I didn't need you to bring me here, Dad. I don't know, he's 12. Did he think he was just going to go to King's Cross on his own or something? Is that the plan? Because then Harry's
he
like,
probably
"I'll just
didn't.
be here."
I doubt he probably literally thought that was the case. He probably just thought, I don't need you to bring me to the platform. That's what I would think.
Yeah, maybe. But it's, very emo, very teenagerish. So Albus goes to the train and Draco appears. And his robes are perfect. His blonde ponytail precisely placed. So, in other words, Draco's just perfect.
As per usual, no one needed clarification on that. We all knew. We're all aware.
And then Draco's just like, I need a favour. And apparently they're on a first name basis now because Harry's like, Draco, instead of Malfoy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Draco brings up the whole rumours about his son being Voldemort's kid, and he's like, Harry, can you get the Ministry to release a statement again, saying that all the Time Turners were destroyed years ago and this can't possibly be true. So, yeah, he wants Harry's help, and instead of help, Harry gives him some advice. He's just like, let it blow over, they'll forget about it. And Draco's like, no, my son is suffering, and Astoria has been unwell. He needs all the support he can get. And Harry's all wise now, like, if you answer the gossip, you feed the gossip. So...
Didn't Harry have these same issues when he was little? Like, people were gossiping and he wanted them to stop, and it didn't stop just because he let it blow over?
Yep. It didn't stop, it changed. So the gossip of the week would go away and then something else would emerge, but yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't exactly do anything to stop it either. And Harry's all like, for your sake and ours, you need to steer clear of all this. And Scorpius isn't the first to be accused of being the heir of Voldemort. Draco frowns. There you go. Frown. And he leaves. So, Albus and Rose get on the train, and Albus is like, once the train leaves, you don't need to talk to me. And she's just like, I know, we just need to keep up the pretense in front of the adults or the grown-ups. So they're playing nice in front of their parents. Obviously, they want their parents to think they're good buddies, but they now hate each other's guts or something. I don't know. But I love Scorpius. He's so cute. Scorpius, hopeful. Hi, Rose. Rose, definitive. Bye, Albus. Scorpius, she's melting. So I'm going to believe Scorpius, and I'm hoping she is melting and becoming a better person. I have faith in you still, Rose. You have Granger blood. So we do another, and suddenly, time jump, and Professor McGonagall, who is headmistress now, is announcing that Rose is the new chaser for the Gryffindor team. And I'm confused as to why this needs to be announced in front of everyone in the Great Hall. Because, it doesn't usually happen this way. Couldn't we just have this as a side thing, her saying to Rose, congratulations, yada, yada, yada. But no, it's a huge thing. And Scorpius has a total crush on Rose.
Mm-hmm.
He declares, I think she's brilliant.
I swear, this is like, one thing I thought when I was reading it was, this is everything Hermione people wanted. But the wrong way, but the wrong characters and at the wrong time. We were like, we knew this was inevitable, but we didn't expect it to happen this way.
So then we have potions, and everyone's like gossiping behind their back. They're like, and leave him and Voldemort's child to it, I say, said Carl Jenkins. And
what was that voice?
I don't know, that's how I imagine Carl Jenkins speaks.
Okay. Carl Jenkins is a bit weird.
And Polly is Albus, and... Sorry, no, that's too old for Polly. Let me try again. Albus, an irrelevance. Even I have no idea. I need to amuse myself. Some of this is a bit slow, and I don't like it. So I don't even get what the potion scene was about. Because it's just them being bullied.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it's showing the extent of that bullying. It's just that reminder,
Maybe.
isn't it?
Yep. And then it says, Albus's, and with that time moves ever onwards, Albus's eyes become darker, his face grows more sallow. And I'm just wondering, does a makeup artist quickly come and sallow his face a bit? Give him some dark contact lenses?
I think maybe. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna let you continue on with this.
He's still an attractive boy, but he's trying not to admit it. I just love that. It's just like, Ginny, oh, Albus, you're so handsome. Oh, mother, no, please, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Continue.
Gluing fake warts onto himself.
And we're back at platform 9 3/4 for third year. And Harry's like, this is great, you get to go to Hogsmeade. And I was like, I hate it. And, you know, I can see him. He's got like, I know how his eyes are dark. He's got like raccoon eyes.
Yeah, probably.
Got panda eye makeup and, you know, his hair's like all dead straight, breezy.
Yeah, seen. Very seen.
Yep. And he's got, you know, like checkered fingerless gloves on.
Oh, okay, we're skipping hastily forwards now.
And Harry's all like, how can you hate Hogsmeade? And he's just like, because they'll be full of Hogwarts students. And he sets his permission slip on fire, which is brilliant. But I love how Harry's like, this is your chance to go to Honeydukes without your mum knowing. No, Albus, don't you dare. And he sets it on fire. And apparently he's terrible at the Incendio spell. So Harry then decides to have like some D&M time with his son before he gets on the train, saying, you know, Professor McGonagall's watching you and she tells me everything. And she says, because, you know, this conversation's going to go great. And he talks about how he's isolating himself, uncooperative. And Albus is like, well, what do you want from me, Dad? Do you want me to be popular? Do you want me to be in a different house? Do you want me to be a better student? Just cast a spell and make me the son you want. And then runs off. He's so emo.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then we find out that Scorpius's mum died. That's sad. Poor Scorpius.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Astoria. And yeah, he's like, I didn't tell you, Albus, because I didn't know what to say. And then he wants Albus to come to the funeral, and I was like, sure, I will. And suddenly, we're back in the Great Hall. And the Sorting Hat comes along again, and it's like, are you afraid of what you'll hear? Afraid I'll speak the name you fear, bloody, bloody, blah. And Lily is Gryffindor. Go, Lily.
Oh, bless.
And Albus is not happy with that. He's like, great. And Scorpius says, did you really think she should come to us? Potters don't belong in Slytherin. And Albus is like, this one does.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And then he says he tries to melt into the background. The other students laugh. He looks up at them all. I didn't choose, you know. I didn't choose to be his son. So that's kind of sad. Like, he's obviously got some daddy issues.
So there's some stuff going on there under the surface.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Obviously he doesn't like living in the shadow of Harry.
Well,
so
it's a lot when you think about it.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And I'm guessing he's got middle child syndrome.
And look at what Harry accomplished in his time at Hogwarts.
Yeah, I mean, he's in his third year and he hasn't vanquished Voldemort once.
Exactly.
Like, get your game up, Albus.
Jeez.
So, scene 5 is in the Ministry of Magic in Harry's...
Hold on.
Oh.
Just all up. Scene 4. Did you have any particular thoughts or feelings about it?
No, it was a passage of time, so not really. Like, I'm seeing how Albus is at school. Like, he's obviously like an isolated kid who gets bullied, but he's got his one bestie, and they're pretty close, obviously. And yeah, no, not really. Like, it's just time going on. Like, I get where Albus is coming from. I feel kind of sorry for him living in Harry's shadow. But yeah.
Okay, all right.
And there's a hat in fishnets and stilettos.
So that's a little concerning for you.
Yeah.
All right. Fair.
Oh, I did notice the Time Turner reference at them stuff because that's relevant in scene 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
alrighty, let's roll it over to scene 5 then.
Yeah. So the first note I wrote down is Hermione still cleans up after Harry. Isn't she like Minister for Magic now? which she is. I was right, but that was my first thought because she was like tidying up Harry's paperwork. Now you're obsessed with Slytherins. Theodore Nott. He was in Harry and Hermione's grade, wasn't he? He was one of the Slytherins, part of Draco's gang.
I think so.
You don't need to be impartial. Just tell me yes or no.
I think
I'm
you should have
sure
done the
he
research for yourself. Yes, he was.
Yeah, well, sorry. I was reading this evening in the middle of my very interesting novel I've got at the moment.
No,
To be honest,
this
isn't catching me.
Yeah, no, it's. I found it really tough to get through the first few scenes of this book, and there comes a point at which you're able to kind of go with it. But I think for you take the stage directions way too much into consideration. Maybe you should skip.
Play.
Yeah, I know, but maybe you should skip them a little and just get to the dialogue if you're getting a little concerned about the stage direction. If you can't picture it.
No, I can picture it. I just find reasons to be annoyed with it.
Okay, we'll stop doing that. Okay.
So they captured Theodore Nott, who was using a time turner.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah. After all that talk about time turners, who would have guessed it's in the play? So, So he's apparently in custody, and Harry shows Hermione the time turner and confirms to Hermione that it's genuine and not just an hour reversal turner, so it can go back further. And Harry then's like, well, I don't know for sure, but we'll give this over and other people can figure it out. Because he wanted to try it himself. Because, that's clever, Harry.
Oh, why not?
And Hermione wants to keep the time turner, and she's like, well, we don't have a choice. I'm like, of course you got a choice. Destroy it now before something happens. Because something's going to happen. I'm not stupid. They're not good at, surprise reveals. Their red herrings are very red.
Mm-hmm.
So something's going to happen with this time turner.
Okay.
And it's very different to the time turner Hermione had. Harry's bleeding, and apparently the scratch on his cheek will go with his scar. And then he's like, and by the way, Hermione, what are you doing in my office? This thought just entered my mind that you're in my office. Isn't this weird? Why are you here? And she's like, oh, I was waiting for you because I wanted to find out what happened. And you also promised me you'd keep on top of your paperwork, and you're not. And he's like, yeah. And then I want to know how this happens on stage, actually. Harry waves his wand and the papers and books transform into neat piles. I'm just hoping somebody, some people in black, who just quickly grab the paper and shove them together and then run off stage. That's probably what it is. There's only so much magic.
And I cannot shed illumination onto that for you, unfortunately. Because I
told you
know.
Should have taken us to go and see it live.
No.
But, so then Hermione starts summarising what's in his paperwork for him because, that's her shtick, just like when they were at school. And she's like, there are mountain trolls riding graphorns through Hungary. And I thought that's pretty cool. But then this is my favourite. Of all the things she lists, there are giants with winged tattoos on their backs walking through the Greek seas. And I was like, giant gangs, giant bikie gangs with their badges on their backs. How cool is that?
Love it.
That is what they are. And then there's some stuff about werewolves. Who cares?
Okay.
And then Harry's like, let's go. I want to go and fight this and do and work on this. And Hermione's like, I get it that paperwork's boring. And he's like, but not for you. And she's like, I've got all my own paperwork. It's like, this is not school, Harry Potter. You cannot make me read your paperwork for you. I am not doing your paperwork. I'm Minister for Magic now.
Huzzah!
Yep. And so Harry is like, I don't need to read these files. I'm out there hearing about it. I'm the one who knew about Theodore Nott. I heard the rumours enacted. You don't need to tell me off. And apparently this is tricky. And then this is how we know Harry Potter has entered the modern era. Hermione offers him a toffee and says, don't tell Ron. And then Harry is like, I can't have a toffee. We're off sugar at the moment. You know you can get addicted to that stuff. Look, I'm the first person who will fight you about the evils of sugar. Sugar is so evil. But do not put that in my Harry Potter novels. Or plays. Or Harry Potter anything.
But does it serve a purpose?
No.
Are you sure?
What do you mean does it serve a purpose?
Well, what did
Hermione's-
you say? You said that this was an indication that Harry Potter had entered the modern era.
Yeah,
Maybe
but no,
it's
it doesn't serve a purpose because it's ruining the magic. They're not meant to care about these things.
No, they are. They're still physically human.
And then Hermione's like, my parents are dentists, so I was bound to rebel at some point. 40 years is leaving it a little bit late. And so that's why she's eating toffee. But no. Harry doesn't care that sugar is addictive.
Or does it...
Harry Potter likes his sugary sweets.
Or does it...
No, I am not with this at all. They are ruining my magical world with sugar.
I'm staring at the audience.
They could have given
they are
Albus
looking
an
back at
iPhone. Give Albus an iPhone. That's how you can tell me it's modern.
It's not about it... It's not just about it being modern, though, is it?
They're ruining it.
Okay. All right. We will swiftly move on because you do not get it. We'll come back to it later.
No, we will not come back to it. They have ruined it.
No, it's fine. We'll come back to it later. Move on, please.
No,
No, that's
I
fine.
hate sugar. Everyone should know I'm addicted and I hate it.
Okay, it's
but
not about the sugar.
In my Harry, it is about the sugar. That's what's annoying me about it. That of all the things they could have decided to use, it was sugar.
Okay. I feel as though you are missing an element to what this is doing in the storytelling. However,
they could have chosen something else.
Let's move on to another point, and we can address this one further down the track.
The sugar comes up again? Is this play actually like a nefarious plot to tell people about the evils of sugar? Using Harry Potter as a means?
Potentially.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, ugh.
Anyways.
How's Ginny? How's Albus? And Harry's like, I'm not good at fatherhood. And then he's like, how's Rose and Hugo? And do you know how happy I was to hear about Hugo? I'm like, he wasn't completely written out. He exists. I'm not mental. Like, I knew I wasn't. I knew he existed. But yeah, apparently Hermione and Ron are having marriage problems because she's not home enough. And her and Harry are like, you know, we're like now better ministry officials than we are parents. Ha 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 ha. They pretty much laugh about that. And then she sends him home to his family. And yeah, that was that chapter.
Okay. I'm just going to say this now. Don't bring up the sugar again, because we've already spoken about it. But looking back on that scene, did you take anything from it?
Time turners.
Okay. Is that all you took from it?
Harry doesn't feel like he's an adequate father. There's marriage problems for Ron and Hermione.
Mm-hmm.
This could be like a gritty soap opera. They talk about how there's dark creatures moving again. So there's all the giants and the trolls and the werewolves. And so something's going on.
Something's happening, you think?
Yep.
It's funny because you're actually so far missing what I want to get at. But that's fine. That's fine.
No, give me a sec. Let me look over it again.
No.
Time Turner Theodore not.
No. Trust me. Even if you read over it again right now, I know that you will not quite pick up on it, but I believe it will become more apparent as time goes forward in the story that you will pick up on what's going on. All right. So
No.
Really, if you read it, you won't get it.
Something about toffees.
No,
it's toffees evil.
No, it's.
I'm looking back at my notes.
No, really, you absolutely will not. You're not quite seeing it. You're not quite seeing it. That's fine. That's fine. I'm very amused. Okay, so you've read 4 and 5. Going forwards.
This is bothering me now. What am I missing? I need to find the clues.
No, it's not as simple as that. Going forwards, though, what are you expecting? What have you learned? What do you think is going to come up as a result?
I think there's going to be more problems between Harry and Albus.
Okay.
That's going to come to a head at some point because that's a huge thing they're plodding along with. This whole Albus doesn't like being overshadowed by his father, which I totally get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just, like, I suppose he just sees himself as being seen as just the son of Harry Potter, and he should be a miniature Harry, which I'm guessing James is very adequate at doing by the sounds of him. Also, I've actually had a proper look at the cover, sorry to tangent for a moment, because I actually didn't really look at the cover before I started reading them last time you asked me about it in the car.
Yeah.
And it's actually very clear. So I'm not sure if it's Albus, because Albus is meant to look like Harry, and Harry has black hair.
But I
it's
mean,
not Scorpius, because Scorpius is, like, platinum blonde.
hold on, can I just bring something up?
Mm?
The way the cover art is portrayed, it is set in a certain tone as to conceal anything too distinguishable. So don't read into it just because it's not got the blonde hair, or it's not got red hair, or it's not got this hair. Don't look at it like that. I'm going to give you that, okay?
Okay. It's got wings. There are wings on the nest.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come back to that. Okay, so what I think, so the thing between Albus and Harry is going to come to some kind of head, or something like, you know, or get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. So Scorpius is going to continue to be somewhat adorable and crush on Rose. Rose is hopefully going to grow the F up and join them and make my magical trio, because that would make me happy.
Yep.
And that time turner. I don't know. Something's going to happen with that time turner, but I couldn't tell you what. Like,
okay, so you think the time turner will come into use?
Well, they've spent all this time talking about it, like all these scenes before. So, yeah, this time turner that apparently existed and everything. And I don't know what it is. It's not going to be... I'm wondering if the kids are going to get their hands on it. Because I can't imagine Harry and Hermione using it.
I can't imagine them letting the kids get a hold of it.
Yeah, but come on, this Albus is the offspring of a Potter and a Weasley. And then we've got a Weasley and a Granger. They are bound to find trouble and drag the poor Malfoy along.
Okay, so that's what you're predicting?
Yeah, they're gonna get their hands on it, because I just can't imagine Harry and Hermione being stupid enough to use it. And because obviously this play has huge focus on the kids.
Yeah, but I mean,
I can't imagine Harry and Hermione using it and dragging their kids along for the adventure.
I mean, really?
Unless it's a bonding exercise, Harry and Albus.
That's a good thought.
That would be weird. That would be actually really cool. Maybe, yeah, Harry and Albus have like a weird bonding. But where would you go back to? Maybe they go back through Harry's school years or something.
That'd be a learning experience, wouldn't it?
Maybe Harry is the cursed child. So it can be like to Albus, you think your life is tough, try and be the actual chosen one.
Well, I mean, that's an angle. I mean, I guess it does stand to reason.
That would be pretty cool. But no, I've now got this image of Harry, like, holding his son and, like, showing him, like, fighting the basilisk and being like, yeah, you thought your life was tough? Look at that snake, son. Do you want to have to fight that? No, your daddy fought that for you. Yeah.
Daddy fought that so you didn't have to.
showing him, like, Voldemort in the Department of Mysteries. Yeah. Do you want to deal with that shit? I know. No, you don't. You don't want to deal with that.
And then Albus just turns around and winks at the giant statue they're hiding behind or something. Perfect.
What else? I don't know.
And I mean, you have to think about it like this. there was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Mm.
But in the end, the Goblet of Fire was only relevant for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, really...
Maybe. But... I don't know.
You're putting a lot of emphasis onto the cursed child, but... Is it relevant? Do we know that?
They keep bringing up Voldemort having a kid, which I think is wrong because we all know he's a Ken doll. But they keep bringing that up.
I mean,
and I don't think.
Think about it. People have made up rumors about Adolf Hitler having a kid too.
Yeah, but this is Harry Potter world.
People will always make up that rumor about bad people because they're afraid.
Right.
So,
okay.
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to figure out more in my next reading. What do I get to read next week?
I'm thinking at the moment 6, 7, and 8, but I want to go back over them first, so I will confirm with you and I'll confirm with Facebook what we're going to read next.
Okay.
But I'm thinking...
Oh, I want to know what I've missed.
It's fine. You know, what I suggest to you is...
Rereading everything I've read so far.
I suggest you reread it, but I also suggest you read the next few scenes that I'll give you, and then once you've read all of it, kind of... I don't want to give you anything, really, but it would have helped you to see where things were going if you had gotten it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm annoyed, but it's fine. I'm sad because you... It's fine. All right, everybody.
It's not fun. I'm going to figure this out. I read mystery novels in my spare time.
See,
I'm going to figure this out.
You're really not. Like, can I just be super honest with you right now?
Is it the twist that,
No.
writer...
Okay.
Stop. Can I just say, is it the kind of twist where the writer obviously wanted you to go, of course,
No.
but really everyone went, no.
No, as in you're really not going to see it just in the dialogue or anything alone. You're really not seeing what I want you to see, and that's fine. You'll see it at the end, and when we talk about it further through the book further through the play or at the end, then you'll totally get what I wanted you to see.
Well,
you almost had what I wanted you to bring up. You so almost had it. And I think you do have it already in your brain, but you're not thinking about it, but you've just kind of skimmed over something, really.
Okay.
No.
No, it's not
Yes,
too late
it is.
now.
Yes, it is.
The whole sorting out.
No.
I'm looking at my notes and what I've read. I've got like 2 and a bit pages of notes.
I totally believe you, but now that you've started to look for it, you're never going to see it. Because you're going to overthink it. Anyways, don't stress about it. Just do as I suggest. I'll give you the reading shortly for the next week. I'll give it to Facebook as well. Maybe you'll bring it up next week, probably by pure coincidence. And when you do bring it up, I will let you know. Don't stress. You're not missing a huge twist. You're not missing a huge thing. It's just you're missing something that really carries through and sets the tone. So you're not looking at it correctly yet.
Draco and Harry.
You're not. No. That's not what I wanted you to look at.
And their budding friendship that I hate. They meant to hate each other. No, actually, they're being adults.
So you
I
don't...
like this. I like them being
you like
adults.
This
but
now.
I've decided I like them being adults. I don't think they're friends. Let's be clear. I do not think they are friends, but they are being adults, and they understand that their kids are friends, and they have to navigate this.
And do you think they're going to navigate it?
I think so.
Okay.
At the moment, I'm going to say yes, they can navigate this whole, our kids are friends, so we have to be adults, and,
Alrighty. Well, that's a good one. I think for now we'll leave it for there. You're going to rage puzzle over what's going on. I'm going to stare at a wall for 3 hours and think about it. Thank you all so much for listening and for joining
us. Did you miss it when you read it the first time?
No, I did not.
What am I missing? I'm good at these things. I'm really good at twists and plots, and I am missing something.
This is exactly why you're missing it.
Because I'm looking for it.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
I tried to lead you down that road and you wouldn't listen to me, so now I'm not going to lead you there.
No, I'm going to listen to this recording again.
Okay, but you're still probably going to miss it. And if you do get it and you recognize my irritation, I expect an apology.
Why would I apologize? I've never read this and I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
It's not about you having not read it. It's not about that at all.
Have I missed? So it's something that we already know.
Okay, Mel.
No. You don't walk away from me.
No, I legitimately do. You've just missed what we should have talked about. You've missed where I wanted to take you on this so that you would get a better idea of what's going on. And now we're walking away from this episode. And we'll come back to it next week. And if you can successfully bring it up or not try to stop me when I'm explaining it, then we can go there.
I didn't actively try to stop you.
She was screaming about the evils of sugar, ladies and gentlemen. Screaming about the evils of sugar.
Okay.
It's too late.
No.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will ensure that we post up those scenes on Facebook, which ones we're going to read. You can find us on Facebook at Witch Weekly Podcast. You can also find us on iTunes at Witch Weekly Podcast. I'm sure there's other things you can find us at Witch Weekly Podcast on as well, including our Gmail account. It's the toffee. You're still missing it. We will catch you next week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let us know what you thought about these scenes on our Facebook status when we post this. If you want to send us an email, just make sure you tag it with Cursed Child so that Mel knows not to read it. Alright, thank you all so much. We will catch you later.
See you next week, guys.
Bye, nerds.